Here's another great one. It's to be used on women who you already have a connection with and women who already like you. And it's really effective on women who maybe are a little bit insecure about your status being a lot higher than theirs or your prizability being a lot higher than theirs. So what I'll do is at a certain point, I'll say to a woman, you and I get along great and probably would have unbelievable sex together. But this relationship is just not going to work out because you're probably head of some big company like Microsoft. And you only want me as a trophy husband, as a pretty accessory. And the woman is inevitably going to laugh and say, no, you're more than an arm piece. And I'll retort with, well then, Missy, what are 3 things you like about me besides being a piece of man candy? What this is going to do is goad her into the sexual frame of coming up with 3 things that make you a piece of man candy. Now this is going to hit several compliance triggers. One is apposition of opposites. Usually, it's the woman worried that the high-status guy is using her as an arm piece. Also, it hits the compliance trigger qualifying. You're making her qualify to you why she likes you. And also, you're hitting commitment and consistency. The reasons that she comes up with builds legs to support her commitment to liking you. And her future behaviors are going to be consistent with that decision. Also, you're hitting the compliance trigger, making her seduce you. By her having to come up with reasons, she's falling into the frame of trying to seduce you. Doing all this is also going to build a lot of arousal inside of her body. You're going to hit some of the primitive emotions. You're going to hit the primitive emotion discontent. You're creating a barrier or hurdle between you and her having the best time together and probably having great sex. And she's compelled to get past that hurdle or barrier. Also, you're hitting the primitive emotion fear of loss. This hurdle that you've put in the way is threatening to ruin her chances of having great sex and having a great time with you. These 2 things are going to build arousal inside of her body. And you're also going to be hitting 2 of her sexual needs. You're going to be physically arousing her. She has a need to be physically aroused by evoking some of these primitive emotions. And you're also going to be filling her sexual need to seduce you. This sexual frame also does a lot to create the perceptual filter of comfort. You're inciting her to feel and act a certain way, not forcing her to. She's the one who's chasing you as opposed to you chasing her. These 2 things are going to help create the perceptual filter of comfort. In this situation, if the woman was insecure about her status and you use this exact tactic of you being worried about your status back on her, it's going to demonstrate an understanding of her world. So she's going to see you as an authority, and she's going to feel more comfortable doing what you want her to do. Moreover, because you've made her come up with reasons why she likes you, besides being a piece of man candy, she's going to feel comfortable when you get sexual with her later on.